Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for the second edition of Bears Corner. Should be the third. We had some technical issues last time. We're going to crack into this week's games and anything else that's propped up in the Premier League or maybe the international break as well. We'll see you in a sec. Hey guys, I'm back with Scott and David. Josh is being a moody bugger and can't join us this week. He's had a tough day. Last time was a bit of a difference in scores. Scott had a bit of a stinker. It's left him rooted to the bottom of the table. But it's not too much difference. Only 3 points between him and Josh. Another 3 between Josh and me in second. David with a poor use of a joker by Josh has got a good 7-point lead on the rest of us on 26 points. By way of reminder, it's 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for the correct result, and the joker, of course, doubles any scores if the prediction is correct. We'll go straight into this game, and maybe guys, if you've got any talking points about specific teams or transfers or whatever, there's one in particular that we'll probably end up talking about, I'm sure. But we'll leave it to the relevant game. But there's some other things that someone might pick up on as well. Probably not for this first one. It's Palace Spurs. David, as the leader, will come to you first.
Well, I've got it down as a Tottenham 2-0 win.
Yeah.
I cannot see Palace getting anything out of this game, sure.
No, I'm inclined to agree. It doesn't seem like a game they're capable of winning. I said last time that I don't rate the Vieira appointment for that team, and Spurs not the team to be playing. And to be fair, Spurs look pretty balanced. They look decent so far. I know it's early days, but I didn't quite know what to think of the Nuno appointment, but it seems to be all right so far, doesn't it? And Harry Kane staying is only a positive. David with the 2-0. Josh has agreed with you. He sent his picks through. He's gone for the 2-0 Tottenham as well. It's 3-0 from me. I think they'll be even more comfortable. I'm probably gonna fade Palace every opportunity I get. They've obviously annoyed me in some way, and I don't fancy them this year. So yeah, 3-0 from me.
Yeah, it's 3-0 for me as well. I think it's a comfortable win for Spurs, isn't it? Comfortable.
We start this way every week. We all agree a little bit too much anyway.
And everything.
Nothing too much to say there. I think you can probably expect to see Kane starting. It just gives me a dilemma of how I get Ronaldo into my dream team, but we'll that's maybe a different.
If you could see the state of my FPL now, it's just trash, and then for all the players and just trash.
Yeah, it's
like Salah, Fernandes, Ronaldo. I don't know what I've got in there, Luke Shaw.
And then just the cheapest possible players then you can find to facilitate it, yeah. It's definitely an emotional thing for me rather than... I pride myself on trying to keep that away from it, but I don't know if I can hold myself this time. We'll move on. It's Arsenal-Norwich. I'll go to Josh's pick first, being the Arsenal fan. He's gone 3-0 Arsenal, so... He fancies his boys to bounce back. I mean, to be fair, as bad as Arsenal have been, I can't see Norwich doing a lot this season. I'm going to go for an Arsenal win as well, but it's going to be 2-1. It's going to be tighter for me. I don't see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet against anyone, but maybe they'll have tightened up after being sort of pretty dreadful. It does seem to go that way when a team gets a batter, and sometimes they close the door next time. But fancy Pookie to nip in from a sloppy couple of seconds, bit of concentration lapse or something like that. 2-1 Arsenal for me. What about you, Scott?
I'm a bit torn. It's first reaction was the 2-1, but Arsenal just seem to get worse every week. I don't really see, other than that little glimmer in the cup at West Brom, there's not really been much coming from them.
West Brom's kids though, wasn't it? You're going one each?
One each, and I think you're right. I think Pookie's the one that's going to get the goal for Norwich. He's a really decent player, they've got him.
Well, Josh is probably going to play as a joker when he sees our pick, so I imagine you might get a joker coming that way. We'll see. David?
Basically, 30 points from top 2 weeks in.
Yeah, to be fair, you've got to gamble. You are right. David, however, doesn't need to gamble.
No, quite. So, I have some inside knowledge.
Do you?
That apparently Norwich were the better team as a whole against Leicester. And Leicester are better than Arsenal.
Yeah.
So what I've got written down is an Arsenal 2-1 win.
Right.
But the longer I thought about it, the more I think Norwich might win.
Norwich might win, okay. You might get the joker then. To be fair, Josh has been kind with his jokers.
I'm going to stick with what I've written down. Arsenal 2-1.
You're going to be sick if they. That's one.
If Norwich win, I'm going to be so angry.
That's one to watch because there's everlasting video evidence will be on the internet of that. So you've this is a proper head over heart thing. This is do you go with your gut or your research? Arsenal are awful. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't win the game. To be honest, I don't know. I'm maybe just not being very brave with the pick. It just seems like I don't fancy them, but I'm just going to have them win by that same, that old. I can't really make a decision 2-1 scoreline. It's Brentford Brighton next. I'll come to you first, Scott. Not many goals, I'd have thought. Tight one.
I thought you said it was going to be 5-1. Did you say?
I said tight one, mate.
I thought you said 5-1.
No, the opposite to what you. No, I think it's 5-1.
I think this is the 0-0 for the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think much will go on. I don't necessarily think that either team are decent, so it's going to be that boring 3 o'clock kickoff this week.
Yeah, being a 3 o'clock as well. David?
I agree, but I've got them both scoring a goal, so 1-1.
Yeah, and I think Josh has gone 1-1, and to be fair, my pick is 1-1 as well, and then I saw Josh had gone for it, and I thought maybe I need to change it. But yeah, I can't go away from 1-1. I think they've both got enough in their lockers to get a goal, but I can't separate them. I'll sit on the fence with the rest of you. City Leicester. Leicester. I know. I know we've got our side bet on, and Scott, and obviously you said that Leicester are sort of a shadow of their former selves, and I tend to agree so far. They don't look anywhere near as good. I wouldn't go as far as say as they were a shadow. I do think they'll come good at some point, but it's a City win, innit? I mean, no one's going for anything other than that. I don't think it's just probably the scoreline. Josh has gone 3-0. I'm going to go 3-1. I still think Leicester have got enough in the bag. They've got Jamie Vardy. I need him to be getting on the score sheet, not so he doesn't fall too far behind Antonio before Antonio picks up his sort of 3-month injury, so that he can use that time to catch up. So I'll go.
Top of the 10,
three games or whatever. I'm all right with it. David, will come to you for your prediction.
Well, I feel like you've just copied my scores on all of these games. As well.
Well, I haven't, because I went first then.
Yeah, true.
So I'll get him. I'll get him first before these. I'm being accused of plagiarism now. Scott, round us off for that one.
I feel like we can go 3-1.
You're going 3-1 as well.
No. 2-0 City.
How much? You cut out a bit then. 2-0 City.
Yeah, 2-0 City.
Okay.
I'm trying to stick with what I think Vardy won't get on the score sheet.
No, that's fair enough. Anyone else? I mean, I'm using this time to fill because I'm still writing down some of the games. This is how prepared I am for this. Anyone else surprised that City didn't end up making a move for a centre forward? I mean, they did make moves for a centre forward, didn't they? But they didn't get their man. But I thought that perhaps they'd have someone else lined up. But it sort of suggested it was. I don't think it was a case of like, they didn't get Kane and they didn't plan. So it almost seemed like, well, we want Harry Kane, and if we don't get him, we're happy to settle for what we've got for this year. But when the news broke, it was probably a month or two ago now, wasn't it? That Lewandowski wanted a new challenge. I thought, right, well, he's setting himself up to go and have a couple of years at City. But I just never nothing ever came about it. That wasn't even like a rumour at any point. So I am surprised that there was a couple of strikers on the market that they didn't go for, but then I suppose they were in for Ronaldo as well, and that obviously didn't happen.
Well, one I've got my eye on is at the end of the season, doesn't Haaland's
well, that's gonna take up the entire summer, isn't it? Like that's all you're going to hear about next summer.
Yeah, it's only what, like 60 million?
68 million, I think it is. But I mean, I imagine teams will be paying far more than that anyway. But
I can see a transfer record on Haaland.
Well, it's still going to be down to the agent in it as well. Like you're probably going to pay half of that again to Priola, the fat slug. It's going to be a tedious one, that is, I think, because I don't think any business is going to get wrapped up quietly and early with that. He's going to be sort of shown around like a sort of prize pony, and need to get the highest bid. And I think just about every team that can afford him in Europe will be in for him. I can't recall another transfer like it where everyone wants him, everyone knows he's definitely going to go, and that he's got a release clause. I can't recall another transfer like that's ever going to have happened like that before. Can you? I mean, normally it's 2 or 3 teams, and then they start to drop out. Whereas this is every possible team that can afford him.
Do you reckon he's going to end up in the Premier League though, or is he going to do, PSG or those sorts of teams?
Well,
So I mean, for Barcelona reboot next season, and they.
No, I don't. I think Barca's one of the. I think. Do you think he'll go to PSG?
Yeah, because I think Mbappe will go to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And he'll replace Mbappe.
Well, that was my hope, is that Mbappe does go to Real Madrid, so you can tick Real Madrid off, because I think that's, apart from the, I think it's Premier League or Real Madrid for him, but they seem to have their eyes on Mbappe. So, Barcelona, I don't think could afford him. I mean, I say this, the Spanish clubs have sort of both claimed beggary with the Super League, and then have gone out and spent stupid money. Like, what was it? Straight after saying it, Real Madrid was like, "Oh yeah, we're signing David Alaba on a free, but it's like 600 grand a week or something stupid." It's like you're not that poor, are you? So, but I don't know. Haaland seems like a bit of a funny character to me. I don't know if he'd want to go to PSG, but maybe they'll lure him into the project.
I didn't watch it, but I saw something about him having a meltdown the other day because he'd missed a shot in one of the games, and he was fuming, had a complete meltdown on the pitch.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
I haven't seen the video.
His stats are like, I've never seen anything like his shot. Is not just his goals, like the shot conversion percentage is like a joke. Like he's one of those. It's like, I think the big lone centre forward is coming back a little bit, isn't it? In all levels of football. And he's like the most all-round sort of complete forward that I've seen for ages. Because
if you were going to pick a player to be the best player in the world in the next 5 years, it's him, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't even say really there's anyone else I'd put as a contender.
Nah, well, people will say him and Mbappe, but I think he's a much more desirable all-round player than Mbappe is. Don't get me, like, Mbappe's ridiculous, I know, but like you know what he's about, don't you? Whereas Haaland's like, how do you stop that? The power he hits shots with is like, he doesn't look real. I don't know if you saw that video on Twitter. There's one going around. He's celebrating, and it looks like a FIFA celebration. It is a real life video of him celebrating in a game, and whoever posted it said it looks so much like FIFA. The way he's moving and stuff, that I'm getting a bit suspicious, and it does. If you haven't seen it, you find it. It won't be difficult, and it's like, it is uncanny. The guy's a freak. Anyway, talking of. Yeah, well, I was going to say, you ruined my segue there. I was going to say on to sort of big transfers for centre forwards. I can't. Your audio's rubbish tonight. Anyway, I made my segue into United v Newcastle. We'll get the predictions out of the way first, and then we'll have a quick chat. There's probably not a lot new to say that people haven't already said, to be fair. I'll go to Scott first for the prediction on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, United for me.
David.
I have the same. Annoyingly the same as Scott, yeah. I I mean, I'd love to say 4-0 Newcastle, but
Yeah,
don't
think that's happening. I mean,
realistic.
Josh has the most faith. Josh has gone 5-0, so Josh is topped even you. I think that's a little bit ambitious. I'm just gonna go for the 3, and that.
I love how no one thinks Newcastle are going to score.
No, and to be fair, you probably will find a goal somewhere, and I'm not convinced.
I doubt it because I don't think Callum Wilson's playing.
I didn't know that. If that's true, then yeah, probably.
I think he's injured. There's rumours going around Newcastle Twitter that he's injured.
Well, that's positive because that is your goal threat, isn't it? I know you've got ASM as well, causes some problems, but
his final product's not very good. It's all flashy and the good, nice dribbles and stuff.
Yeah, he needs someone to hit.
He doesn't get the goals and the assists that he should.
No. It's probably why he's, with all due respect, not playing at a slightly sort of more successful team. So why is it Newcastle? Yeah. I'll just say 3, just because I'm almost having to temper myself because we weren't very good against Wolves at all. And although I think obviously Newcastle aren't as good as Wolves, I'm just tempering it a little bit. I think Ronaldo coming doesn't necessarily make us like a hugely better team overall. Obviously he's ruthless and will without a doubt score goals. I don't think there's many that will doubt that, but it wasn't necessarily the area of need this year. It was just one of those that was, I suppose, too good to turn down, which it is. I don't know, to be fair, what the position is with like Cavani's return and stuff like that either. So, and I don't even know if Ronaldo will play. To be fair, I'm not sure. I think he trained yesterday or today, so it's not.
Tuesday, didn't he?
Yeah. So he's trained a bit.
Probably on the bench at least.
Yeah, I would imagine you probably see him on the bench. And to be fair, it's harsh if Greenwood's dropped because I mean he's scored a bunch of goals in the first few games. So.
Yeah, but then again, it is Ronaldo.
But it is Ronaldo. So all I'm saying is I don't know what the side will be. If they feel like he's trained enough and he's ready, obviously Ronaldo will start. It's just whether he needs a little bit more time. Who knows? United to 0 then, I guess. No jokers to be played there. What have we got next? Southampton, West Ham. Yeah. Scott, we'll come to you first again.
2-0.
2.
I guess he's going to score goals.
To Southampton then, mate, yeah? 2-0 West Ham. Okay. Enough said. Josh has gone 3-0 West Ham. I don't know what to say about this one. I'll go to David first.
Well, I think it's interesting. They've both gone West Ham wins.
Yeah.
I've gone for a draw, 2-2.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yes, I think it's going to be a bit closer than that. I think we've all said we think Southampton will probably struggle a little bit, but they have looked a little bit better, and there are a couple of sparks. And West Ham can't just keep winning. I mean, I know that they didn't win last week, did they? But they can't keep looking brilliant every week because otherwise you're saying they're going to be like a top 2 or 3 finish or whatever, and they're not going to be, frankly. So they have to drop points against sort of teams outside the traditional top 4 at some point, and I'm with David. David's gone 2 each. I was toying between a draw. I'll go 1 each. I don't know why. I've got no real explanation for it. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm more leaning on that 2 each, but I think just to be different, I'm gonna go for the 1. For me, the next one is probably another one of the tight ones. What is it? Watford Wolves. This is 1 each for me. I think similar reasons to the other tight games. Wolves they're just one of those solid teams, aren't they? I don't think they're going to concede a bunch, but they're not going to score like a load of goals. I still don't know what to expect from them too much with the new manager, and I know Adama Traore is like a racehorse running around, but a bit like ASM is sort of his end product's lacking again. Otherwise, he'd be he was at Barcelona, wasn't he, in his younger years, and there's a reason that he's not, and that he's at Wolves now. So yeah, 1 each for me because I think Watford have got a bit as well. I think Watford have got a little bit of something about them. Feel free to pick which one of you goes next.
I tend to agree with you, mate. I think it's going to be tight. They're both got a bit of quality about them, enough to win the game. I don't think so. 1-1.
1-1 with Scott as well. Josh has gone 2-1 Watford, so he's not sitting on the fence like us. Interesting that he's gone for a Watford win, to be fair, because it really could go any way. I think this one.
Yeah, this is the one that took me the longest
to figure out.
Choose.
Yeah.
And I've got written down Wolves 1-0.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it with any conviction.
No, I don't think. I think although there's some, all three results are covered, and I wouldn't be surprised if any of them or anything else happens. But I don't think this will be one that I chuck a joker out at, because I've got no confidence in it at all. There's nothing that I can explain to you guys why I think that result is what I've picked.
Well, see, I've been thinking about it. I mean, Watford played quite well, didn't they, last game out?
Yeah.
But I don't know whether there's any consistency there, and I don't know what bringing in Sissoko is going to do for the middle.
We'll see. I suppose it's like a you're going to get like a physicality thing, and energy and whatever, but they always seem to, because I mean they come up every couple of years, don't they? And they always do seem to have just the odd player here and there that's got a bit of a spark, but like you say, doesn't have the consistency, which is again for the third time in the last sort of minute why they're at a club like Watford and not higher up. But there is just something there. But I don't know whether they're a side that I'd class. I don't know what category I put them in yet. I don't know if I put them in like a Wolves that are solid but not going to score a bunch, or if they're in a team that are going to score goals but they're leaky at the back. Like a Leeds or whatever. I don't know where to put them yet. I think I need a few more weeks. I need to see a little bit more from them before I know. And I'm absolutely happy to admit that I don't go out of my way to watch Watford on a on a regular basis, so I'm very, very uninformed. Next up, Chelsea Villa. I think this is a better game. I can't see past a Chelsea win, but I do think that there's some bit more excitement to be had, if not jeopardy for the result. I think 2-0 Chelsea for me. Not necessarily because I don't think Villa have got enough, because I do think they've got some very dangerous players going forward, but Chelsea are good, aren't they? Chelsea are good. David?
Yeah, 2-1 Chelsea. Danny Ings to score for Villa.
Yeah. That was they were my two choices. Sort of a coin flip in my head, really. I've gone for Chelsea's quality rather than anything else.
I think Chelsea will win just because
they're better.
They're better.
Yeah.
But I think Villa could grab a goal.
Yeah. No. I wouldn't be surprised. Josh has gone Chelsea 3-0. So he's chucking the goals out this week. Is Josh? There's probably a joker opportunity here or there. Scott, I can't imagine you differ in.
2-1 Chelsea.
Just
I think Villa will win one.
You said I was copying your score. Scott's picked up on it now, mate. You got to catch up, Scott. You can't just do the same as him.
To be fair, I'm happy with it. It'll keep me in front.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Can't catch up. This is possibly the game of the weekend on paper in terms of the style of play. I don't know what you think, but Leeds Liverpool, the one Sunday game. It screams goals. I know sometimes it's too obvious. Sometimes these games end up not being what you expect, but I can't. Leeds don't change, do they? Really, and that for me against Liverpool is, I don't know. Leeds will probably get on the score sheet, but I think 4-2 Liverpool for me. I'm going big.
That's so weird because it's exactly what
This isn't even like a 2-1, 2-0. That these are big score lines, right? 4-2 for both me and David, which is odd. I assume the reasoning is going to be the same as well, as it's Leeds and it's Liverpool. Liverpool are better than Leeds, and Leeds will play the way they play, and
I'll probably live to regret this, but surely there's got to be goals, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's happened in the past, hasn't it? Loads of time, especially with like United sides. Actually, when we were like good, and you come up against the side, it's like, oh, it's got to be got, and then it's 0-0. You know.
Yeah.
That's a result of teams changing the way they play to get a result, whereas Leeds don't do that really. I'm sure they actually do. Like a Leeds fan will tell me they do, or some sort of real tactical genius will say, because I'm not claiming Bielsa's just like a gung ho, but they will attack and they'll try and score goals. And for me, it's like a similar result to the first game of the season, wasn't it? United Leeds. I just think that they'll try and attack and they'll get beaten by a superior attacking force. But it'll be a good game, I think, to watch. I wish both sides could lose because obviously I hate both of them, but they can't. So
have Leeds won a game this season?
I don't think they have. Interesting, isn't it?
I honestly can't think of. I don't even know those.
No,
they played.
No. Well, they lost to us. They've had a couple of draws, haven't they? That's all. This is the thing, isn't it? Because it's Leeds and they play. It's like you just assume they're doing well. When in actual fact, no, they haven't won a game. But I suppose what have they played 3 games and got 2 points? I mean, I suppose they've only lost 1, but they'll beat 8-10 sides in the league, though, won't they? At least.
They'll beat us. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They'll beat who they should do most of the time, I would have thought. Scott, what are your thoughts on this one?
3-2 for me, mate.
3-2.
I think there's goals, but I've got to do something different to try and get the exact score.
Is that 3-2 Leeds?
No, Liverpool. I'm doing badly enough. I'll have jokers all over me if I go Leeds on that, won't I?
You will, yeah, and look how many points you get.
It could be a good way of catching up.
That's it, yeah. Josh has gone a little bit more conservative for once. He's just gone the 2-1 Liverpool. But yeah, again, no disagreement on the results, is there? So on to the Monday game then. Not quite as exciting, I don't think, this one. Everton Burnley. It's almost like a similar explanation, but for a completely different thing. Leeds play a certain way, and you know what you're going to get from them, whereas Burnley do that too, but in a much less exciting way. David, we'll go you first.
Well, I'm a big fan of Rafa Benitez, so I've gone 2-0 Everton.
2-0 Everton.
That's the only reasoning.
Yeah, well, I do think he'll improve them as a team. You know,
they start of last season they were really good. I mean, they fell off towards the end, but they've kept most of those players, and Rafa's a really good manager. So.
Yeah, and he works well with what he's got, and considering they seem to be, they've obviously copped up their FFP for however long, so they can't sign anyone. It's sort of, he's got to work with what he's got, and he will make them solid and sort of tactically intelligent and balanced. So no, I think Everton win as well. I haven't decided on my scoreline yet, so I'll go to Scott. Not because I want to see what he's doing, maybe to see what Scott's score to stay away from. He doesn't know either. All right, Josh has gone 2-1 Everton. I imagine his reasoning's the same. And to be fair, I can imagine that he's just thinking that Burnley being Burnley, they'll nick a goal from somewhere with, you know, Chris Wood will score or something, won't he?
Set piece of some sort. Yeah.
Bumper free kick in.
Throw caution to the wind. 3-0 Everton.
He's got 3-0. He thinks he's got 3 goals in him. I don't know about a Rafa team going for a third once they go 2-0 up. Do I do something different here? I can't go past an Everton win. I'm just going to go with the 1. I'm going to go 1-0 Everton. Mainly just to be different. I agree with everyone, I think, but I just want to try and. There's like a little gap in the market for a cheeky sort of 76th minute winner from Everton. Tight, boring game. Grind it out, and then say thanks for the 3 points at home. It'll give the Everton fans something to have a whinge about, even though they've won the game, and there we go. Right, guys, we've not had any jokers chucked out. So
have there been any glaring, obviously bad choices?
I don't. Well, that's probably not. They might all be bad choices, but I don't think there's been anything that we've sort of looked at and thought that's mental, which is probably why they've not been chucked out whilst we go.
just one of those weeks for fixtures, isn't it? Where it's all very sort of.
Yeah, there's only a couple.
No.
There's only a couple that we've disagreed on. I'm going to go tactical though, and chuck it out on Scott's Brentford Brighton 0-0. Just because I've gone one each, so I do fancy a goal at least, and I know that, you know, I just don't think it will be 0-0, so the risk factor's not quite as bad.
Did we all go for draws in that game?
Yes. Scott went 0-0. The rest of us went one each.
Oh.
So there's
somebody chose a winner. I would have done.
yeah. There's not the only way I gain really massively from this is if it finishes one each, and then I get more points than everyone else. That's the only link I've got, because everything else we all pretty much agree on.
Were there any other games that somebody thought different to me, or in terms of winners?
I suppose the Southampton-West Ham game that you and me put a draw on, Scott and Josh both went West Ham to win to 0. You've got Wolves. The Wolves West Ham. The Watford Wolves game is the one where we disagree the most. Where you've got 2 draws, a Watford win and a Wolves win. But you don't know that enough to put a joker on it, do you? So
Was it Josh that went Watford?
Josh went 2-1 Watford.
It's really annoying because it could happen.
Yeah. That's why I'm doing mine. It's not very exciting. But if I manage to get the score right.
Because I'm winning, I'm going to go conservative as well and join you on Scott's. Yeah.
Who went Wolves win on the Wolves Watford?
Me.
David went Wolves win.
I'll joke you on that one.
Okay.
I don't blame you. It could go either way.
Yeah, I just need some luck.
You do. I'll get Josh's joke and we'll put it on the socials or something. I'll put the table. It'll be in here somewhere. In there for you all to look at. Nah, you're at the bottom. You're pointing somewhere else. It'll be in the middle of us. It's like here. I'll stick that in there, guys. Let's hope. I was going to say let's hope we can catch David up, but we've all pretty much agreed on most of the game. So bar something really strange happening, it seems unlikely. It's just about keeping pace this week for one that we disagree on a little bit more. Before we go on, Scott.
This weekend's the one where it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's the one where you look at the games and you think all the games are foregone conclusions, pretty much. You put that £1 acca on where you're going to come out with £600 and all of them but one lose.
I don't think it is. I think it's one of those where like you think, oh yeah, that's an easy one, but it's never that easy because otherwise we'd all be winning accas every week.
Yeah, exactly.
So there will be.
It's the Premiership. It's the Premier League. You know, could be anyone on the day.
Two or three games at least are going to go a different way to what we think. I imagine, but
and there's always a 0-0 at some point.
Well, we've all agreed with Scott as well, and he's scored like 9 and 4. So we.
But the first week I did well. I did all right.
Yeah, you did all right. Yeah, and then 4 last week though. 4.
What did I get last week?
What did you get last week? I don't know, mate. It's here somewhere. You scored. I think you scored 9 last week. Yeah, but you had 17 that first week, I think. Because it was that you had those.
How did I get 17?
You had 2 correct scores that had jokers on you. I think you played your joker and Josh played his joker on you. So you had 12 just from those 2 games. So
nice.
Josh is your best pal at the minute for scores. Anyway,
if you want a long-term bet, then I'd put Antonio on top goal scorer for the season.
What overall? Overall, not with Kane, Ronaldo. No. Antonio's going to outscore more. Is this another side bet? Do we double down here? You want to double down here?
I'm not going to double down to £100.
Well, the Antonio to beat Vardy for goal scoring is at least reasonable assumption, but top goal scorer overall against everyone else is quite the.
If he doesn't end up with a long-term injury, which he normally does, he'll be up there, won't he? He'll be up there.
I don't know, mate. I think that's a lot. If you look at the quality of, you've got Lukaku, Ronaldo now, Harry Kane. Is Antonio going to outscore all of those?
I'll tell you what, if I was a betting man, I would actually go against Scott and say, I reckon Callum Wilson would outscore Antonio this
Do you?
No, never.
I'm not saying he will.
I'll be a betting man then. We've got the side bet. Put Scott in the hole. We've got this side bet. Get involved.
No, but the issue is, they're both really injury prone, so...
Is he going to score more than Vardy is the question.
We're talking league goals, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
What, Callum Wilson?
No, well, for all of it, for everything. I mean, that was the basis of this. Is the Premier League thing. Like, I'm not. Yeah. So the European campaign for West Ham's going to take it out of a minute. Surely, all those extra games.
I think you need to get in on the action, mate.
Let me have a look how many goals Cam Wilson's got already. it's probably one or two, so I'll probably...
Yeah, he's got two, hasn't he? I think same as...
Is it?
Yeah, what's Antonio on 4?
How do I find that? Yeah, Antonio's on 4.
Yeah.
Vardy and Callum Wilson on 2.
Yeah, Wilson's on 2.
Mate, that's I think that's a exciting claim. You don't have to go the full whack, but there's something to be. There's something in that. Put Scott under pressure here.
Yeah,
He'll pay us his wage packet next May. If he loses all these bets.
Yeah. I'm not sure how big was your bet.
Ours was 50 quid to charity.
I don't want to go that high. I'm not that confident.
Put your offer in then, and see if Scott accepts it.
Oh, God, 20 quid.
Come on, Scott. Surely, hang on a minute. No. If you think that Antonio's going to outscore Vardy,
you must think.
Surely you think he's going to outscore Wilson? Are you saying that?
No. I'm purely looking at this from a financial perspective. For me,
But you've already put your bet on for Antonio to outscore Vardy.
Yeah.
Would you say Vardy's going to outscore Wilson without any money on it?
Yes.
Well, then Antonio's going to outscore Wilson then.
Yeah. And I'm already at a loss because Wilson's probably injured and not playing this weekend.
That's true. You should probably be giving him better odds, Scott. So at sort of even money,
I'm just hoping that over the course of the season, Antonio's out for a bit longer than Wilson, so it kind of catches up.
Fine, I'm in on the 20 quid.
Right, Scott's in for a double.
It's peer pressure, innit?
There'll be more of these. We'll get Josh involved when he's next on, and we'll force him to put money up for things that he's not really sure whether they'll happen or not. Anyway,
it's like something like Arsenal finishing above Newcastle in the league.
I wouldn't do it at the minute. We'll see how things go after this weekend. If they don't win this weekend, he probably won't ever come on this again. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming on. Guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, all of that rubbish if you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think in the comments as well. Be interesting to see how if anyone else can beat the predictions. If you can't, you probably need to watch some more football, because consistently we've been fairly average so far, and I imagine we'll continue to be. And enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.